Hey, what's up everybody? It's Nick Chino from VigilanteDetective.com and welcome to my latest rock album review for the 9th studio album from Coheed and Cambria. It's called Vaxis Act 1, The Unheavenly Creatures. Why did I say it like that? I don't know. It just sounds cool. Vaxis! Vaxis is the follow-up to 2015's The Color Before the Sun, and just to give you some, history on me and Coheed and my listening experiences with them, I've enjoyed all the music they put out so far, and I think they're one of the, the hardest rocking, most proggiest, most ambitious rock bands on the planet for sure. Claudio Sanchez has one of the most dynamic and kind of unique voices in all of rock right now. So I've made sure to check in with Coheed every time they've released a new album. I really enjoyed The Color Before the Sun, which was a break from Coheed's big epic story called The Amory Wars. It's this big sci-fi story that runs through all of their studio albums. It's also a comic book, it's a graphic novel, it's a novel, it's available in all sorts of different formats, and it's a very epic story. You'd be hard-pressed to find any other band on the planet right now doing this kind of epic sci-fi rock project. So their last album, The Color Before the Sun, was their first record not to feature the story of the Amory Wars, but they're back with that story on Vaxis, which is the first part of an overall 5-part saga, which is part of the overall story. It's all very, very confusing, but yeah, so they're back with this this story, and you know what? This is an epic, heavy listen right from the get-go. This is not a short album. It's an hour and 20 minutes, so you know what? We gotta strap in. This is gonna be epic. Here's my review of Vaxis. Vaxis! Alright, so we start out the album with the prologue, which is kind of like a spoken word bit that's done over an instrumental. Very epic, very sci-fi, sets the stage for the rest of the album, and the next song on the record, the first real song of the record, which is called The Dark Sentencer. This song is 7 minutes and 45 seconds. It's an opus, but it's also kind of just standard Coheed. They're just doing their thing, they're kicking it off with an epic rock song with chugging guitars and big drums, and I love it. Vaxis! Then we move on to The Unheavenly Creatures, a great title track, got some rad synthesizer in that one. Then we move on to what I think was my favorite song on the entire album. It's called Toys. This song is kick-ass, guys, okay? I could tell you right from the get-go that this was going to be my favorite song. It's got, harmonized vocals, it's got huge power rock, it's got a huge solo in the middle. I loved Toys. Best song on the album, for sure. Moving on from that, we have Queen of the Dark, which was kind of one of the darker tracks, but still pretty melodically interesting, and it was lyrically complex as well. Claudio Sanchez is a great lyricist. He has to be able to do this giant Amory Wars concept that he's doing on this record. Love Protocol, which was another really great melodic rock song on this record. Super catchy chorus, and that's not surprising for me. Those are the kind of songs that I gravitate to on any record. And it shows how Coheed can still mix in more commercial melodies or catchy kind of traditional melodies in the mix of all these other epic rock songs that they're writing. We then went to The Pavilion, which is another single-worthy track on this record, epic rock ballad territory. The Gutter, which is one of the singles that was previously released from this record, has some great screams in that, which is something that Coheed hasn't done too much over the last couple of years. Old Flames, which had awesome harmonies and a good chugging, kind of instrumental for late in the album. I always say it's nice to have something that'll kind of, give you a little bit of a pickup later in the album. But not everything was awesome on Vaxis. Vaxis! Yeah, this is a long album, like I said. It's, there's 15 tracks, but it clocks in at over an hour. It's like an hour and 20 minutes. So there was a couple of songs that I didn't really grab onto right away. True Ugly, All on Fire, It Walks Among Us. These songs didn't really grab me right away, but they were still obviously very well done. But like I said, this is a long album, so there's got to be some lowlights somewhere, right? Overall, if I had to pick a favorite between The Color Before the Sun and Vaxis, I think I would go with The Color Before the Sun, just as more of a casual Coheed listener. I know The Color Before the Sun doesn't feature the Amory Wars concept, but it was a little bit more lighthearted. I tend to gravitate more towards the Coheed songs that are more kind of upbeat, power rock kind of stuff. So, you got Spirit Kid from the last record, or even older Coheed songs like Devil in Jersey City and Feathers. Those are the kind of songs that I love from Coheed. At 80 minutes long, Vaxis is a long listen, and it can be exhausting at times. I'm not going to lie, my ears got tired towards the end of listening to this record. It took a little bit of willpower to keep powering through, and that's from me, a gigantic rock fan. It can sound a little bit samey at times, but that's like that if you're a more casual fan of any band. I think you could say to me, Nick, you know, if I listen to Biffy Clyro Opposites, which is over there, you know, which is a double record, it can sound samey to me. So it's all, you know, your opinion and, you know, really how much you love Coheed and how much listening capacity you have in your ears. But you know what, Vaxis is a very long and exhausting listen. Vaxis! But you know what, that can be said for so many albums. The bottom line is that Coheed, in the age of Spotify and iTunes and playlists, Coheed is keeping the rock album alive. This is not just an album, okay? This is a piece of work. It's not just a collection of songs. Most albums that you listen to, they're just songs that are put together in a sequence on a record that is going to be pleasing to the listener. Not, you know, obviously Coheed is doing that with this album, but they're doing so much more than that. And I got to say that unlike a lot of bands who kind of plan multi-part albums that are going to be released over so many years, Coheed is a band that actually follows through and does what they're going to say, and that's amazing. Alright, so I'm going to give the new album from Coheed and Cambria, Vaxis Act 1, The Unheavenly Creatures, Vaxis, a 7 out of 10. This is a long listen, so if you're going to be checking it out, make sure you strap in for a very long listen and give yourself some time to take in everything this album has to offer, from the Amory Wars story to, you know, all the audio goodness and instrumental and vocal goodness that's happening on this album. Not every song appealed to me, but I did enjoy it a lot, so I'm going to give the new album from Coheed a 7 out of 10. Alright everybody, that is what I thought of the new album from Coheed and Cambria. Let me know what you thought of the record in the comments below. Make sure to give me a like, a little thumbs up on the video. I would appreciate that. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Check me out on social media, on Twitter and Instagram at The Walking Nick, and check out the website vigilantedetective.com for more music reviews, movie stuff, pop culture stuff, everything you need over at vigilantedetective.com. This was a big weekend for new music. We had the new 21 Pilots, the new Coheed, the new Tokyo Police Club, so make sure you check back to the channel for the videos for all those records. More rock album reviews on the way. We'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Vaxis!